Indeed, I would like to say just one thing. I'm not a doctor, I'm just Srba. Okay? You know, it is not very usual that you call everybody by the profession, so I would prefer to just call me by the name. Everybody here that came today came to the spiritual church, your spiritual fellowship here, and everybody here consciously or subconsciously seeks spiritual growth. That is the beautiful, simple road that shines in front of us. Everybody can have access to that road. It could be Joe with a PhD, or it could be Johnny without any education. And anybody in between fits on that road. However, there is one big obstacle there. It's called ourselves. We create those obstacles because we're geared and programmed as a children to have certain thoughts and concepts about our life. So let us examine what is this all about. Every human is the light of eternal grace and being of God. So how come we have those obstacles in front of us? Well, it is very simple. The road is shiny, glittering, without any obstacles until we put them there. And road is made out of the most simplest energy that is abundant across the whole universe. We all know that energy, but we don't know how to control it. We don't know how to measure it. And energy is very simple. We gave the name because we have not other way of explaining it. We call it love. That is the road that takes us to enlightenment. That is the road that takes us to the source of our being, and let's call that God. But what are the obstacles? Because the road is made out of love, and love is God, and God is love. It's the energy of life. Every soul is part of God. God is each and every one of us that we call soul. So what are the blocks? We are afraid of love. Well, it is very, very strange to tell everybody, including myself, that we are afraid of love. We all know we are loving beings. But there are certain things in us that kind of gave us a break in riding that road. So one cannot step next level of spirituality unless one accepts the fear of love. Fear of love comes from feeling of unworthiness, mistrust, envy, jealousy, hate, greed, anger, and many more. Those foes are expression of fear. In love, there is no fear. Therefore, we are afraid of love. We can only get rid of our foes if we practice forgiving. We can't forgive others until we forgive and love ourselves. Unless we love ourselves, there is no forgiveness, even if we try our best. We can say it, but it is not in there. We can forgive others until we forgive and love ourselves. Forgiveness does not change the past, but does enlarge the future. Forgiveness is a virtue of the brave, as Gandhi said. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it's constant attitude. Forgiveness is releasing yourself from the prison where you jailed yourself. Yes, we jail ourselves and live in that prison with part of the life. And I'm not accusing anybody here, but I'm part of that too. Once we forgive ourselves, we can forgive others. Once we forgive others, we are filled with love. Once we are filled with love, we'll live without fear. Living beyond your fear of love will literally send you flying over all the blocks and obstacles on your path of spirituality, and you will burst with compassion and joy for yourself and the humanity. As a part of the handout, you received a little paper that has pictures just like this. Would you please take it out and look at it? This is called Wheel of Wisdom or Emissary Wheel. This has been used in the centuries in meditation in many, many societies in the past. Actually, this has been found in Egyptian writings, and in Gnostic early writings, there is signs of the emissary wheel, and St. John the Baptist was described as center figure of the community of beloved disciples, which really meditated with this wheel. The Emissary of Light is the most recent group that I know of. This group meditated and used the emissary wheel during the war in Bosnia in 1995. There were two groups of 12 highly enlightened individuals in a small village in the remote mountains of the part of Bosnia-Croatia border. Each group meditated a shift of 12 hours non-stop, without eating, without interrupting. They did that 24/7 until war ended. They're far from the last. They always appear in the trouble zones of our planet, and always secretive and unheard of. One can call them our guardians. So look at the wheel for a minute and feel if wheel speaks to you, if we resonate with that. Just allow your eyes to land on any part of it. Notice 12 points that are touching outer cycle of the world that associated with them. Those are the words, representing quality of energy associated with spirituality. Every letter in the word is an energy. Every word is information about that energy. In the beginning, it was word. Genesis, verse 1. The 12 qualities of spirituality are energetically represented by emissary wheel as a quality in a group of 3. Courage, patience, wisdom, certainty, compassion, joy, clarity, understanding, depth, generosity, abundance, agape. So let's touch the first one, courage. Will free us from attachment to materialistic world of the form. It takes courage to conquer fear of death. It takes courage to accept notion that one never dies. Let go of the concept of death, and you will discover the wealth of the strength that you did not know you possessed. Number 2, patience is a state of only now. There is no past, no future, and everything exists only now. Time is linear concept of the world of the forms. Outside of the planet Earth, time does not exist. Time is a linear concept, and you understand that, and you have divine patience that will be yours forever. Number 3, wisdom is accepting there is no difference between you and anybody else. Wisdom is accepting oneness as the only existence in the entire universe. Wisdom is remembering there is no separation between you and the divine. It never was and never will be. Is it possible to unite and empower our divinity with the science? Absolutely yes. Now, I know there is not many chemists here, physicians, or anybody with a higher understanding of DNA. I presume everybody knows what DNA is. So there are 4, just don't try to even remember what I'm telling you until the last sentence that I want you to remember for the rest of your life. There are 4 amino acids that create our DNA: cysteine, guanine, thymine, adenine, and they are known as CGTA. Each letter of those 4 oldest ancient alphabets, Hebrew, Arabic, Phoenician, and Sanskrit, corresponds with a number. Now we take the number and match it with those 4 first letters. And now we take periodic scale of the elements and match those numbers with periodic scale of elements. We take atomic weight of each element and match it again with letters. So all what I told you, just forget. What they're going to hear now, I think is the most important sentence that you heard in a lifetime. At least it was for me. Translation to the English from those 4 letters in the ancient alphabet is God eternal within the body. I always become very emotional with that, because that is something that you will not hear anywhere. This is pure science. It's pure genetic. This is just mind-boggling. That is who we are. We have 50 trillion cells in our body. If you take those cells and line them up one after another, we can make a path all the way to the moon out of one single body. That's how powerful we are. Every cell in our body has this message. We're stamped with that. Once we understand that little sentence, the whole rest of the 9 words of the spirituality have a certain new meaning. Certainty becomes the new meaning, because certainly we know there's scientific proof who we are. The certainty will lead you to the awakening state, to shiny path of enlightenment. Compassion lies within. Yes, everything lies within us. When you open your heart with love, love returns to you and floods you. There is no such a thing as giving. Every giving is receiving. Giving that compassionate love is a knock on the door of awakening that certainly will place you on the shiny path of spirituality with any obstacles. Joy, perfect compassion leads you to perfect joy. Your heart will be fixed, what is real within you. You will walk upon the earth filled with joy, happiness, and love, untouched by changing tides of unreality, blessing everything that you touch, because you see the truth within you, the truth that you are love. And you see that clearly. Clarity is acceptance that you just saw clearly now. The misconception has clouded our judgment until now. The things we think we saw are illusion, guided by ego. Finally, our gratitude for understanding the illusion will bring the clarity we have not possessed until now. Understanding. One can only understand something that one sees it clearly. Total understanding is what grace of God created us. Therefore, we are being of light and love. We can only know who we are once we are willing to offer the same gift to others. You cannot hold this as things altogether. Understanding is a gift that is given and received at the same time. Understanding is seeing what is real and what is an illusion and a key of everything. And we have to understand that in depth. Depth is where we finally begin to perceive the real world as truly is, when beauty opens with perfect clarity and we realize we have seen a splinter of splendor, of beauty we could know only in the open heart. What is the result? Simply this, perfect knowledge of who we are. Generosity. We still believe if we give something to another, we lose from ourselves that forever. And there is no other. There is no separation between us and divine. How is that possible? Well, simply look at this. My hand has 5 fingers. Each is separate, but it's all part of my hand. That's the easiest way to remember that we are all one. There is no other. And the easiest way, again, to explain, let's do a little game. Let's imagine we have Palestinian, we have a Jewish, we have Christian, we have a Russian, and we have Ukrainian. And they're all fighting. And they all kill each other. They lie about everything because there is no truth there that exists. And they all die, and they come to the one. And they realize all that fighting, all the killing was for nothing, because we are all one. There is no two of us out there. We are just part of one hand. We are part of God's creation. And that is all there is. How do we define that? Well, imagine we have 5 senses. Our eyes, our ears, our nose, and all the 5 senses. I perceive every single of you here just by recording what my brain accepted from my perception. And that is only mine. Each one of you has the same perception of this room, of me, and everything that surrounds us. But this is all individual. It is similar, but not the same. So, everything that surrounds us is figment of our imagination. It is figment of our memory. It's all illusion. But it's very real illusion. This is our life. If one holds back our gift of understanding that the all suffering will start, energy is the universe of love. I'm repeating over and over that love is God and God is love. Some probably have illusion that God is an old man sitting on a big chair up in the heaven, giving orders, who lives and dies. No, God is just love. It's a pure energy of intelligence that is our Father, our Creator. One can give freely and never become poor of this energy we call love. Actually, it is endless. It is the only checking account that cannot be overdrawn. You can sign as many checks of giving love and never be poor of it. So, what about bad people? How come? Do they have a love, or what's happening? Let's do a little exercise. Just imagine the most pleasant moment in your life. Close your eyes and just imagine that. The most pleasant moment in your life. Now fix that in front of you as an energy and try to form that energy in a little ball like a baseball and bring it to your heart very slowly. And you will feel that energy grow full of love and explode, sending that love to the whole world, reaching everybody who suffers, who is in pain, making everybody happy in the world, because you just sent the most beautiful wave of love out there. Now, imagine the most unpleasant thing in your life that you ever could think of, and try to concentrate on it. Again, imagine that becomes a little baseball in front of you and bring it in your heart. And that little ball, all of a sudden, there is nothing bad there anymore. It is nothing but filled with love. And it just builds up pressure in your heart and explodes like a pressure cooker and sends that love to the whole world. There is no two energies, only one. Pure energy of love. That's all what it is, and that's all what exists. We are very abundant of that. And we come to the number 12, agape. Love is God, and God is love, and that is agape. It depends on nothing, and therefore is unconditional. We have been called to love as God loves. It's the only thing that we can lead us into abundance of everything. Those are the 12 powerful qualities of emissary wheel. So what is emissary wheel? It's an energy portal able to shift human experience into the divine context. We are experiencing powerful and subtle shift just by gazing at it. It is known that specific geometric shapes will produce physical and spiritual responses just by focusing on it. It floods us with feeling of gratitude and trust. So we surrender our mind and see. We see oneness as a universal law. We understand there is no duality, all is one. Then we surrender our hearts and see and feel unconditional love for everybody and everything, because we see God in everybody and everything surrounding us. Then our soul awakens and we know our perfection as the grace of God created it. We know with certainty and clarity that we are emissary of love, light, and peace. We are enlightened, free, and at home. Then we see and feel that emissary wheel has been embedded in us, that its presence is our soul now and forever, and we recognize its presence with us from eternity to infinity. Every human carries an embedded, unique, and personal code from seeing and knowing within their soul. It is a password. It is our birthright to seek and discover it. The path of our evolution is a path of spiritual growth. With an open heart, we can transfer today's state of the chaos to the state of the heaven on earth just by transforming our consciousness. Then emissary wheel spoke to me and gave me my code for it. We may share similar code. It may resonate with you, it may not. If it does not, it will come time when you will find your own code. For me, emissary code is like this: with courage, patience, wisdom, certainty, compassion, joy, and clarity of understanding in depth the meaning of generosity and abundance, filled with agape, I stand in front of thee with gratitude and trust. Then my mind surrenders and see oneness. Then my heart surrenders and see and feel the unconditional love. My soul awakens and knows that all is one and I am love. I am enlightened, at home, and free. I am that I am. Have an open heart. Thank you.